favorite channel, Lilith Kazan. Before you start watching this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And also ring the bell for all the notifications about new videos. Today, we're going to talk about forgotten exercise, Zercher Squats. I know you know what they are. Let's go over them right now.
For Zercher squats, you're going to need a typical power rack that most gyms have. Definitely need the one with safety pins on each side that you can change up and down according to your height, because there are explosive Zercher squats and just regular ones, which I'm going to show you in this video for sure. Also, don't forget you're going to need flat shoes. High tops are preferred. So here I am in the video changing the safety pins according to my height, but I still don't know where the height is going to be when the bar is on my arms, so that's why we got to test it out. So we're placing the bar even on safety pins. We're standing in a wider stance position. Not all Zercher squats should be a wide stance. I'm going to show the different stances in this video as well. As you can see, this squat is really high. My hip crease is not on top of my knee, so I need to lower the safety pins just like I'm doing in this video. I gotta test it out again. The bar is even, my arms are up, my chest is up, I'm exhaling on top and still high. My hip crease is not passing my knees. I gotta go down lower. You gotta test it out until you are at the position where the hip crease is above your knee, parallel to the floor. Okay, so this is my last test. I'm lowering the bar. It is even on safety pins, wider stance. The bar is really close to my body. I'm hugging the bar, and this looks much better. My hip crease is right above my knees, so I think I found my right position. All right, so now we can start with the actual technique of the Zercher press. If you are not wearing flat high top shoes, you're going to be very unstable, and you're going to be leaning towards left or right or back, arching your back, which is not good. You want to load even plates on each side of the bar, and definitely use a clip to lock the plates. You don't want them swinging all over the place. It's not safe. Also, as you notice, I loaded the plates facing in. The numbers are in because they stack tighter this way. You see, they can't even swing. And the same on the other side. Please stack your plates facing in. Don't forget that, and lock it as tight as you can so they don't swing. For Zercher squats, some people prefer pads because they may bruise their arms, especially if the weight is heavier. So if you do prefer pads, please don't use the thick ones. Don't use leather ones. The distance between the bar and the pad should be as minimum as you can. So use this tiny one that I'm showing in the video. This is the best one. You always want to make sure the pad is even on the bar and it faces up, just like I'm going to show you. Just watch it really carefully. It is even on the bar, and it faces up so it doesn't roll, doesn't open, doesn't hurt your arms. Now, a little bit of a history of Zercher squat. The movement has been named after an athlete, Ed Zercher, who invented the exercise and widely used it back in 30s and 40s. He was the strongest man in America back in his athletic career. You do want to make sure the bar is even on safety pin. If it's slightly shifted to the left, you will shift to the left when you pick it up. If it's slightly shifted to the right, same thing will happen. You will shift to the right. And when the weight is really heavy, those little imbalances will cause injuries to your hips, to your knee, to your lower back, to your spine. So let's just protect ourselves and be as even as we can, as tight as we can, as balanced as we can. Right now in this clip, I'm showing you a wide stance Zercher squats. I'm bringing my feet as close to the bar as I can. My toes are out, my knees are out. I'm tight in my core. My forearms are facing up, my chest is up. I'm looking up, taking deep inhale, coming up explosively, squeezing my glutes. I'm standing straight up. My forearms are always facing up. If they lean forward, it will force my body to lean forward as well, because the weight up front will pull you forward. Make sure your traps, your back, your glutes, everything stays extremely tight. You explode on the way up. You exhale on top. You take another deep inhale on top. You hold your breath. You go down, tap the safety pins. You wait for a split second, and then you explode up again. You don't want to tap and go. You got to wait for a split second and then explode up, squeezing your glutes and keeping your back as tight as you can. Please don't lean forward. You will hurt your knees, your hips, and it will pull you backwards in your training. We don't want to do that. In this clip, let's focus on our breathing technique. As you see, when I step away from the bar, it will pull me forward. You want to hug the bar. You want to be as close as you can. It has to be touching you. Okay, so I'm standing really close to the bar. My stance is wide. My forearms are facing up as much as I can. I'm taking a deep inhale. I'm coming up explosively, breathing out on top, taking another inhale, down, tap the platform, and come back up. Only breathe in and breathe out on top. The only time you breathe in on the bottom is when you take that first rep from the safety pins, and that's it. Come up, exhale, squeeze your glutes, and down. Stay tight the whole time. Please remember, do not inhale or exhale while you're going down or you're coming up. You only want to inhale or exhale on the very top besides the first rep. If you're going to inhale, exhale while you're performing the movement, that means you lose, your core is loose, and you are at the risk of injury. This is a closer stance, Zercher squat. Now I'm going to perform a wider stance. I will show you the difference between the two. In the closer stance, you will activate more of the quads rather than your hamstrings, and the wider stance, you will activate more of your inner thighs and your hamstrings. But you're still working on your core, your traps, everything is engaged. This is one of my favorite movements. Let's look at the closer stance from behind. My toes are out, my knees are out, facing the same direction as my toes. My chest is up, my back is tight, my core is braced and tight. I'm activating my lower body, my traps, my core. So many muscles are engaged in this movement. And now wider stance, my toes are out a little bit more, my knees are facing out just a little bit more, my inner thighs are automatically activated. Same movement, my traps are engaged, my core is engaged, my lower body is engaged. Definitely my favorite squat movement. And one more time from a different angle. Here I am in a fast forward mode. You don't want to have the bar uneven. You will lean towards the left or the right according to where the bar is standing. You do want to stay as close to the bar as you can. Toes are out, knees are out, explode up, tap and wait for a split second and come up by thrusting your hips forward. Once again, this is a closer stance. I'm already tight as I'm grabbing the bar. My forearms facing up, my chest is up. I'm exhaling on top, squeezing my glutes, my quads, my hamstrings. I activate my quads more in a closer stance. Now let's watch what we don't want to do. Bad versions of Zercher squats. Your toes are going to be either straight or a little bit in. That will cause your knees to buckle in, just like I'm showing you in the video. We don't ever want this to happen. Force your knees out, force your toes out. As you're coming up, force your knees out. Now I'm standing far away from the bar. Look what happens. I'm picking up, leaning forward. I'm not looking up. And my lower back is highly activated, and that's really what I'm using most is my lower back. Trying to pull this heavier weight with my lower back is not good for the body. You will injure yourself, your spine, your hips. Please don't ever do that. Now let's go over not explosive Zercher squats, just the regular ones. Your safety pin is going to be on the very, very bottom where you squat and you don't tap them. Just for safety reasons, if you are to go heavier or you're maxing out and you can't pull the weight, you can just drop it on safety pins and you're safe. So here I am squatting. I'm not tapping the safety pins. I'm just squatting with the bar just like I would do a barbell squat. Same motion, same movement, same technique. You are looking up. You only inhaling on top. And when you finish, you slam the bar across the power rack and you drop it. Or you can completely get rid of the safety pins if you're not planning to go too heavy and you don't need spotters or protection. Also notice my breathing technique. When I'm picking up the bar, I'm taking a deep inhale. When I come up, I breathe out on top. Then I step back. I place my feet in a wider stance if I want to go wider. Then I take another deep inhale. I brace my core. That's why I look thicker. Then I sit back and then thrust my hips forward as I come up and I exhale on top. Then if I run out of breath and I need another guess of a lot of air, I take another deep inhale on top just like I did in the video. Exhale, thrust my hips forward. I keep my forearms up, my chest is up, my back is tight. When I finish, I slam the bar across the power rack and then I drop it. If I don't do that, I can miss the rack. You load the plates the same way as for explosive Zercher squats. Make sure you clip it with a clip. Safety is first. It can never be overrated, so don't forget that. Now I'm going to show you a bad form what you don't want to do with regular Zercher squats. You don't want to stand far away from the bar. Look, when I pick it up, I don't look up. I look forward and I use my lower back to pick it up. Now I'm looking down to see where I can place my feet. You should know your stance. And I'm looking down. Even when I'm looking up, I'm using my lower back. I'm leaning forward, letting the bar control my movement. You must brace your core. You must stay tight. You must explode your hips forward. And when you finish, if you don't slam the bar across the power rack, you will miss the hook, just as I showed in the video. Watch it closely. I'm finished. I'm looking around and I can miss the hook. I just have to slam it and then drop it, and I know it's where it needs to be.
Once again, thank you so much for all your support, for watching this tutorial. Stay tuned for more exercises. Let us know in comments what other exercises you'd like to know, you'd like to learn about, and the ones that give you troubles. I'm here to help you. Mwah!